Hey there, welcome to Abundant Source Raw. I recently got a request to talk about my opinion on nofap, masturbation, sexual energy, and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Sexual energy is so pure and powerful and really one of the most creative forces on the planet, if used in that way. And so I found that for me, keeping my semen in and retaining that, sexual energy within me has really benefited a lot of different areas in my life, as far as just like mental clarity and feeling just really content. Mostly, I think, is what I felt the most by not ejaculating basically so much is I've just felt really like mellow and peaceful and content about pretty much all aspects of my life. It's just seems to be a little bit enhanced by retaining that sexual energy inside of me instead of releasing it all the time. And I'm not super adamant about nofap. I haven't ejaculated in close to a month and a half as of right now, and I haven't masturbated in many months. I don't really ever feel the need or want to masturbate anymore. I have ejaculated a couple times in the past few months, but masturbation just doesn't really appeal too much to me anymore, and so I like to go as long as I can without ejaculating, because I don't know, that's just what I like, and that's what feels good. And I'm not against it or think that, like, oh, you got to just keep it in forever and never release that energy. But where I'm at, I really only want to release that energy in very specific circumstances with people or somebody who is on the same sort of frequency, you could say, that I would want to have that relationship with. I pretty much have no urges or desire to just have, that sort of almost animalistic kind of pleasurable sex. Sex for me is now pretty much only to enhance my spirituality and have more of a spiritual experience. And so I would really only want to do that with a partner who is also looking for that same thing, who is going to be, totally coming from that heart space while we're having that experience, and basically just opening up their entire being and wanting to experience higher levels of, vibration and have that spiritual experience. And as far as retaining that and, not releasing your sperm and just keeping it inside of you and keeping that energy, you can kind of choose to use that energy however you'd like. Like I said, it's very pure and powerful, and is one of the greatest energies you can use for manifesting things into your life, and using it as, just really powerful energy towards any endeavor or any practice that you want to use it for. And so if you want to release that and eject that with sex or masturbation and get that instant little high for a minute, then you can do that, or you can retain it and you can use it towards sort of like the higher aspects, and using it for unblocking energies and sending it to different chakras and opening up different chakras, and using that energy for more like psychic and metaphysical uses that are really going to enhance your experience here as a human being, and just give you kind of more of a higher vibratory sense and just a higher state of being while you're here, if you use that energy for those sort of higher aspects instead of just releasing it because it feels pleasurable. And then when you do find the right person who is more spiritually inclined and wants to use this as more of a practice to enhance their being and open themselves up to love and just to purity and all that, and you guys can have that experience together, then it's the most amazing thing on the planet. When you're at a point where that's what you want to experience, then it totally just diminishes your want for the more animalistic sort of that urge to just have sex, because it feels like this uncontrollable like lusting. um, and I also have to say that the number one thing that's helped me with controlling that is a fruitarian diet. I mean, I used to think about sex nonstop, and every time I saw a beautiful girl, then instantly it would just like go towards, you know, sexual thoughts and all that. And since I've been on a fruitarian diet, it's like my libido is totally controllable. I never have like super bad impulses or thoughts that I can't control that are just like sex, sex, sex like I used to. You know, cooked foods and altered foods and high fat foods really do something crazy with your libido and with your sex drive that makes it pretty much uncontrollable. It makes it to where you just have these urges, and it's like I remember I used to just, you know, feel this massive urge to release my semen, and I couldn't think of anything else. It was like I couldn't concentrate on anything else. I could hardly function. You know, it was affecting what I was doing, my decision making, and it was like I couldn't think of anything else until I just released this energy, because it was just this massive urge for, like, you know, just this lustful wanting to release this energy. And it really controlled a lot of my life and a lot of my decision making and all that. And I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't enjoy having these urges that I couldn't control, that seemed like they were like taking over my life sort of. And so the fruitarian diet, I mean, it's one of my favorite things about the fruitarian diet, is that it's totally controllable now, and I don't get these massive urges. And it's like the only time I really am getting an urge to have sex is if it's like spontaneous in the moment. I'm with a girl and then it just starts happening, and it's like, okay, now it sounds nice. But otherwise, if I'm just going throughout my day, it's something that just doesn't really come up for me anymore, or anything that I think about often, and never with any sort of like urgency, like, oh, I really want to have sex right now. And I believe that NoFap has helped with that as well. I haven't gone extremely long. In fact, right now I think is the longest that I've gone with NoFap. Only less than a month and a half right now. But I feel really good and just like super mellow all the time. And I don't know, it just feels like, so my energy just feels really stable all the time when I am doing NoFap. And it's kind of difficult when I'm talking with people who are, like, say, on the standard American diet or not on a fruitarian diet, who it's so hard to control. I know how hard it is to control when you're on these diets that are really affecting your mind, your psyche, and you know, different parts of your body that create these massive urges. And it's, you know, it's kind of hard to like give them guidance or something like that on, you know, how to reduce that, because for me the biggest thing has been my diet, and eating a high fruit, low fat diet. That's the biggest thing I think that's gonna help you. I mean, you have to seriously use tons of willpower otherwise, like a crazy amount. You got to resist urges all the time and just like push through if you want to do no fap typically. Otherwise, you know, you're like fighting yourself the whole time. For me, it's like really not difficult at all, and it's something that I really want to do, and because it's easy, because of my diet and my lifestyle and all that. I remember trying to do this while I was still eating some cooked food, and it was so difficult. And I would go, like, there would be days in a row where it was just like all I could think about was having sex and releasing my sperm, and it was like I was fighting myself the whole time. And you know, I kind of just found that sometimes, in my opinion and in my own experience with this, is like I don't think that you should be too hard on yourself when you're trying to, like, say, do no fap and retain your sperm and all that. From what I've experienced, it seems like it's better to just release that energy. If you're going to be going like the whole day or even multiple days where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't concentrate on anything else because this urge is so great, sometimes I feel like it may be beneficial just to release it if it's going to help you to just, okay, calm down and then like get back to it. I'm sure if you go long enough, then it'll probably go away. But I don't know if it's really worth all the trouble that you put yourself through trying to do the no-fap. I'm not really sure. But I found that the more you advance with your diet and with just your spirituality and how you feel and your peacefulness and all that, then it's just going to be automatic, where it's just going to kind of be like these urges go away and they just don't appeal that much to you anymore, and it's going to be so much easier. If you want to retain that energy, then I would say the best thing you can do to help yourself is to change your diet, eat more fruit, eat less fat, get rid of cooked food, and just do more things like meditating and anything that feels like is helping you to advance spiritually is really just going to bring you to a higher state. And then this like urge to masturbate and to just release your sperm is going to gradually go away. And until you reach that point, I don't know whether it's beneficial or not to fight yourself and to people think of these great gurus and masters and things like that who are, totally celibate and, it's like they don't even really think about these things anymore. And people are striving to be like that, and they think that because they're having these urges that, they're screwing up, and if they, release their sperm, then they've done a terrible thing. But, it's all kind of levels, and until you reach the level where it's just like it'll just drop off automatically, it's really okay to release that energy if it's causing you more suffering than what it's worth to retain it, in my own belief. But if you've got the willpower and you really want to retain that energy and you're able to sit down and use that energy for other faculties of the body and the mind and spirit, then that's amazing, because it is one of the most powerful things you can use to bring that sexual energy, up the different chakras, through the spine and to the top of the head, and use that energy to like supercharge your whole being and be open to more energy flow and just the influx of energy that's all around you. You can really use this stuff to enhance pretty much every part of your life. And another really nice benefit is the longer you go without ejaculating, the better that sex feels or ejaculation. And also the longer you can like control it and not release it prematurely, I guess. It was really funny the first time I had gone like over a month without ejaculating, and then I ended up having sex. I thought that it was gonna be like this thing where it was gonna feel so good I was gonna probably ejaculate even quicker. But to my surprise, I was able to control it pretty much completely and basically go as long as I wanted to. So that was a nice benefit, and that happens if you go long enough without ejaculating. Then yeah, it becomes so much more easy to control and last and retain that without prematurely releasing it. And then when it does happen, it's like the greatest high on the planet. After not having it for so long. And then especially if you are doing it with somebody who is really open, like I've talked about, and really susceptible to the spiritual aspects of it, and that really heart-centered space that you guys can both be in, and embrace that. then it's going to be like the most magical experience that you've ever had. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the topic, then give it a thumbs up, and you can leave me a comment down below with your opinions and your own experiences with NoFap, and what you think about it and how it's affected you. So thank you all so much. Have a great day.